everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been handed a big new deal by Manchester United. Is it a surprising deal? No, it's not. I'll bring you all the direct quotes and what this deal is in a moment. But remember, we were just live doing a transfer show, so if you want the latest news on where we're at with Varane, Pogba's transfer warning, Sancho and a lot more, click the link in the video description or go through the homepage, because we've literally had to move across from that show towards this show, which is the announcement of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, this is interesting. First thing I want to say in the observation point is that I did say this, and a lot of you have said it as well. United have had this deal for Solskjaer ready for 2 months. They wanted to announce it after the Europa League final, but we lost and the timing wasn't right. Within 24 hours of Jadon Sancho being announced, they've chucked it out there. This has been like that Christmas present that you buy for somebody, and you maybe buy them a pair of roller skates and they break both the legs on Christmas Eve. You ain't going to give them the roller skates. It's just cruel. You wait for them to recover, and then you go, there's the roller skates, and they're happy. So this is what United have done with Solskjaer. This contract's been ready for a very long time, but they couldn't announce it at a bad time after losing the Europa League final. As soon as there's some good news, chuck it in there and build on it. And there was a window. There was a window of 2 or 3 weeks, and probably this is the perfect time to announce it. Everyone's happy about Sancho. We've got a game this afternoon. If they waited till next week, maybe the frustration's building about Varane. If they wait till the Leeds game, maybe we drop points. So they've got to get it out there, and they've put it out at the perfect time to grab everybody's optimism. And even then, you're still going to get people who are a bit confused about it and a bit frustrated about it. What I would say, and I'll read you what United are saying, it's a 3-year deal, which is perfect. I think a 2-year deal is never good, because once 1 year's done, you've got to. If they give him a 2-year deal, they've got to give him another deal next summer, because you can't ever be going into your final year. If you give him a 5-year deal, it's too long. If you give him a 3-year deal, which is what they've done, I think that's perfect. It is technically a 4-year deal because there's an option for another year. But that option for another year is only there if people aren't happy, are happy. So he'll either do 4 years, and let's just be honest. If he has a crap season this year, he'll be gone. He'll be sacked. So it's not like we've got Ole for the next 3 years. But personally, I was thinking just before I went live, does he deserve this contract? Yes, he does. We finished third. We finished second. I don't think United can sack a manager who does that. I think this season's huge, and I think he deserves this season. So I would say that. Has the football been that great? No, that needs to improve. Has his decision making been that great? No. Has his squad use been that great? No. There are massively areas for improvement for Solskjaer, but even despite that, I still think he's done very well. And I think this season is absolutely huge. And bringing in people like Sancho and Varane makes it even more less excuses to succeed. So I am pro this deal. I really am. I think he had to be given a deal, because if he wasn't, he's going into his final year, which is no good for any manager. You can't do that. So the deal's right. The length of deal is right. If he's successful, it provides him with a platform and stability. If he's not successful, he'll get sacked anyway. So I've got no problem with the deal. Is it exciting? Is it going to unite the fan base? Of course it's not. And we'll get into your comments in a minute. But this is what Manchester United have said. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has signed a new contract at Manchester United that will see him at the club until at least 2024, with an option for a further year. Ed Woodward has said Ole and his staff have worked tirelessly putting the foundations in place for long-term success on the pitch. The results of that have become increasingly visible over the past 2 seasons, and we are looking forward to seeing this exciting team develop further in the years ahead. What is especially pleasing is the way this progress has been achieved with a blend of young, homegrown talent and top-class recruits, playing attacking football in the best traditions of Manchester United. Well, that's bullshit, Ed. But I'd expect it from you, because we haven't played attacking football in the best traditions of Manchester United. And really, putting that line in is just going to antagonise the Ole haters. And this is where I think United get things wrong. Just take that sentence out. We have seen a blend of young, homegrown and top-class talent, and the results on the pitch have been good. But playing attacking football in the best traditions of Manchester United, even somebody who's Ole in, I can't agree with that statement. It's stupid. You're treating fans like idiots. And this is where Woodward and co go wrong. They'll chuck stuff in because they think football fans are thick and will just swallow it. And that's going to be picked up on straight away. We haven't played attacking football in the best traditions of Manchester United anywhere near enough. And that's one of the criticisms that needs to improve. He says, we're more confident than ever that under Ollie's leadership, we're heading in the right direction. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, everyone knows the feelings that I have for this club, and I'm delighted to have signed this new contract. It's an amazing time for Manchester United. We've built a squad with a good balance of youth and experienced players that are hungry for success. Yes, Ollie, you need to use that squad now. I've got a fantastic coaching team around me, and we're just not very good at set pieces. He didn't say that. He says, I've got a fantastic coaching team around me, and we are all ready to take that next step on our journey. United wants to be winning the biggest and best trophies, and that's what we're all striving for. We've improved both on and off the pitch, and that will continue over the coming seasons. I can't wait to get out in front of a packed Old Trafford and get this campaign started. And I would applaud Solskjaer on that. I think his statement is absolutely spot on. There is still work to be done, and we aspire to be better. So I've got no problems with what Solskjaer has said there. And I think, as I've said before, this season is all about what we do this season. Manchild says, Ollie and the players deserve this. Rashford, after the Europa League final, said all the players believe in the manager and what he's doing. Enough said. Yeah, and look, personal opinion will never, that's what fan opinions all around. You've got to have an opinion. There will be people who are frustrated by this Solskjaer contract. I listen and I read the comments. I know there's people that don't want Solskjaer as our manager. That's not where I am. That's not where a lot of people are. And, that's a good point by Manchild, that the players are with the manager. Now, some people would say, well, of course they're with the manager, because some of them players shouldn't be in a United shirt. Of course they're going to be with him. He's got his favourites, whatever. But I just think when you finish third and you finish second, there's progression there. Now, of course, a lot of that's down to Bruno, but he picks Bruno. He bought Bruno. So, and other players like Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire and Marcus Rashford, these players have developed under Ollie as well. Some have been bought in, some are already there that he's inherited. So I'm not stressed about it. I don't know what the stress point is really. I mean, he's going to be the manager this season. He was never going to get the sack. He's going to be manager this season. This is a huge season for Manchester United, and the pressure's there. Like, I would say there's something that I call the scales of Ollie. Like Ollie in, Ollie out, Ollie in, Ollie out. Those scales at the moment, all right, where's Ollie in? Ollie in. Ollie in's up there, Ollie out's there. But that can just go like that very quickly in the matter of 2 or 3 games. So Solskjaer should really be Ollie in right the way up here and Ollie out down there. Like, there's no danger, but he's not. There is the scales there. So whichever side of the scales you're on, and maybe you're in between, this season is huge for United. And with the players that we've got, I would expect us to challenge for a title. If we don't, and we play bad football and we concede silly goals again, and we don't rotate the squad, and he burns players into the ground again, then that criticism from last year will just be expanded this year. So I'm completely relaxed about this situation. I don't think it's a situation to not be happy about. It provides stability. It gives Solskjaer what he needs. He's getting the players, hopefully, that he needs. And he'll sink or swim. And if he swims, we all win. And if he sinks, well, you've got to make a change. He's been here for 3 years now. So I think the contract is irrelevant in many ways, whether it's 3 or 4 years. If he's here in 4 years' time, I would hope we've got trophies. If we haven't, then we need to be looking at the Glazers, because they'd be keeping incompetence in place. If Solskjaer finishes 5th and keeps his job, that's all right. Solskjaer's to blame for that, but the board are even more to blame. So I don't really care about this contract announcement. As I said, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was meant to happen after the Europa League final. Literally, if we'd have won the Europa League final, Solskjaer would have got his new contract announced that week. They've had to wait for something positive, and surprise, surprise, 24 hours after Sancho, well, not even 24 hours after Sancho's been announced, they follow it up with Solskjaer. I mean, that, in a world of marketing, anyone who's worked in the world of marketing, that's desperate. I'm not saying it's bad, but it shows you how desperate United are to get the Solskjaer contract out around something positive. Sancho's not even had 24 hours. This morning should still be about Sancho pictures and everything like that. Sancho's not even had 24 hours and we're getting Solskjaer's new contract out. That shows you how desperate United were to find something positive and attach the contract to it. And that's what they've done, because they're worried. They're worried about the reception of the Solskjaer contract and the timing of it. They knew if they announced it after the Europa League final, there'd probably be a lot of negativity around it. They knew if they waited until after the Leeds game, well, that's not very good, is it? Because Ollie goes into his final year. And what if you lose? So they had to get it in and they had to attach it to something positive. And obviously with Varane deal not actually looking as close as it could be, they've got to attach it to the Sancho one. Make sure you smash a like on the video, by the way. Tabres says 4 years to mediocrity and no trophies, exactly what you should give to your favourite nod. A nepotism at its finest. Unbelievable. Ollie and Glazer's out, says Tabres. Well, let's read some of your comments because that's what it's all about. Zane says that means 4 more years of no trophies and maximum top 4. Can't wait for Arteta to leave. Ollie becoming like Wenger, top 4 and maybe an FA Cup. Well, that's an Arsenal fan, Zane, there. I mean, I don't know. When rivals think it's bad that we've kept a manager, I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. So yeah, but right, Ollie's got the new contract. Cool. Now up to the board to deliver first choice signings he wants. No delivery equals Ollie's not the man. Make or break. And I've said that many times before. It is a real make or break season for Manchester United. There's no two ways about that. It really is make or break for United in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this season. He has to deliver, and if he doesn't deliver, the pressure's there. I've never known a manager that. I mean, look, we're talking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here, so we can talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, he's had over £500 million spent on him. Facts. He's had £500 million spent on him. So we did the video 3 days ago. £500 million is the team. No, he's not had 500 million, but he's had a lot of money. I think he's had over 400 million. The value of a team we can put out is over 500 million. So he's had the backing. He's had the support of the fans and retains the support of the fans in the majority. He's had the support of the board. He's got the support of the players. The only issue with Solskjaer, and I've spoken to people who are Ollie out because, you know, even Ollie outers, they're United fans. They know what Solskjaer's done. They know what he is. They know what he means to the club. But the general consensus with the Ollie outers is that he's just not good enough. You know, sentimentality is just not good enough. He's not a good enough coach. So why have we got him in charge? That's the issue. That's what we are with Ollie. It's not about he's not had players. He has had players. The players back him. The club back him. The thing about Solskjaer is, can you stop this team from conceding shit goals? Can you make this team be able to retain possession and up the tempo to break down teams that sit back against you? Can you get this team to win trophies? Can you use your substitutions quicker? Are you going to be totally reliant on the same 11 players and burn them into the ground? Are you going to use this wider squad of 20 senior players that you've got? They're all the things that Solskjaer's being looked at, I think, by the majority and certainly by me next season. So look at the lawman says, haha, United are screwed. He plays Jose football. To the Ollie outers, dry your eyes, mate, says Joshua Bellwater. And attacking football in the best traditions of Manchester United. Wood has got no clue about coaching he employed, if he thinks that, says Andy and Bruno. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that statement from Ed Woodward. I love what Solskjaer said about, you know, what he's trying to build and there's more work to come. And I think Ollie's always very consistent about that. But I think Ed Woodward actually allowing himself to say those words, just ridiculous. I mean, Ed Woodward has actually said that we're playing attacking football in the best traditions of Manchester United. That's going to piss people off because that's just Woodward exposing himself as a fool, and whoever wrote him that statement as a fool as well. We have not played attacking football in the traditions of Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We haven't. We just haven't. And people say Paul Pogba's inconsistent. I tell you what, Paul Pogba's had more good games for United than we've played attacking football in the traditions of Manchester United under Solskjaer. We haven't played attacking football in the traditions of Manchester United consistently for over a decade. Solskjaer's come the closest to it. I think when you think about that Leeds game, you think about the PSG game away, you think about Leipzig at home, you know, Everton in the first half against the Carabao Cup. But I'm struggling to get past one hand last season. So I'm struggling to go past 5 games out of how many games did we play last season? 50 something? Was it 60? So we don't consistently play attacking football in the traditions of Manchester United. And I wish we did, because I back Ollie, I want him to do well, but Solskjaer knows that himself. Man City play football in the Pep way probably 80-90% of the season. And you know, Chelsea have got a certain way of playing. Klopp, when he's got his team sorted, play that way for 90% of the season. We don't play the United way. We don't play free-flowing attacking football the United way. We want to. Solskjaer wants to. But sticking that in a statement when you're announcing him as a new manager, idiotic. You don't know your fan base, because there are a lot of people, Ed, who don't want Solskjaer. they don't rate him. So when you put something like that in, it just antagonises them. You don't want to antagonise people when you're trying to put something positive out there. And this is where I think United go wrong so much. They're whoever's involved in putting these statements out, they're out of touch. They're out of touch because don't put that line in. Just don't put it in. People are going to jump on that. They're going to jump on that. I've jumped on it. You've jumped on it. And we're pro-Ollie. So, Mark, bit off topic, but can see us messing up the Varane transfer this window by holding out for a low price as usual. Get him in January, says NMCC. Well, you can check out my video about Varane. The link's in the video description. The morning transfer show. We were coming towards the end of it when Solskjaer got announced. So it's a 3-year deal for Solskjaer with the option of a further year. That's where we're at with Manchester United. I want to read some of the comments now because obviously it's not just about my opinion. I've given my opinion and I've told you what United said. What are your opinions? If he plays McFred, I'm going to explode, says Mr. Taylor. Well, I did say at the end of last season that if he picks McFred, I'll be Ollie out. I might have to change my opinion because I think he will pick them, to be honest, but we'll see. 9-0. Says Annie Bro. 9-0 against Southampton. Yeah, I mean, look, it's not the first time Southampton have... look, we were playing against 10 men and Southampton was shit. It was a very good performance. I thought Leeds was a good performance, like I said, but we don't play that consistently. I think if I was being honest, and it's somewhere that Ollie needs to improve. If you ask me what I thought about Solskjaer's football over the since he's been the permanent manager, forgetting that interim bit because that interim bit's never been repeated. That was like Ollie freestyle football, wasn't it? That was like go out there and enjoy yourself because I'll be gone in the summer. Since Ollie's got the job, I think across the 2.5 years of him being the permanent job, I would say, and I don't know what you would say, I would describe his football as pragmatic. It has been pragmatic. I believe we played a back six for most of last season. We were hard to score against, and we had moments of brilliance that got us the goal that we needed from Bruno or Rashford or Pogba or Cavani, or Greenwood. I don't think we're I think we're a slow tempo side, and I think that's evidenced by McTominay and Fred and Pogba when he plays in there. They get the ball, they have a look around, they pass it sideways. The tempo's slow, so I think we're a pragmatic counter-attacking side in the main under Solskjaer. We need to become a higher tempo pressing side under Solskjaer and play a bit more attacking, free-flowing football. And I'm hoping that we can do that with the likes of Sancho and hopefully Varane coming in and defending better. But I wouldn't... Look, you've got to play both sides on this. Happy that he's got the contract. Yes, I am. Sympathetic to those people who don't want him to be here. I wouldn't say I'm sympathetic, but what I would say is that if you don't want Solskjaer, at some point, you're going to get what you want. Either he's going to be really successful and we're going to win a title, which is what we all want, whether you're Ollie in or you're Ollie out, winning the title negates all of that. Or he's going to fail and he will go. The contract is just basically, basically a contract is like giving some, a relative turns up that you like. My house is burnt down, I've got nowhere to live. It's like the Three Little Pigs. Like Ollie's the guy who you get on with, and you live in a house of bricks, and Ollie knocks on the door, and he lives in a house of straw. He says the wolf's blown my house down. He's going to eat me if you don't let me in. Come in, Ollie. Have a bowl of soup. I've got a spare room. Get a blanket on. You're fine. All right. You're just giving him security. You're giving him security, and the wolf's not going to blow the door down. But if he starts to get on your nerves, you just say, Ollie, I really like you. Off outside. Well, the wolf's going to eat me. Get out. So it's up to Ollie. We're giving Ollie a security and safety of a contract that I believe he deserves. Some people in the chat, when he knocks on the door and he says my house has been blown down and the wolf's coming up the gate, quick, let me in, they'd go, see you later, and they wouldn't care. But we're letting him in. We're giving him that platform, and if he fails, he'll be shown the door. If he's successful, you can stay as long as you like. Let's watch some classic Netflix series. We're not Netflixing and chill. It's not that sort of relationship. We're Netflix and Homeland or Breaking Bad. So we're just the contract. I don't know what people expect. You know what I mean? I don't know what people expect with this contract. Like, if he wasn't going to get a contract, did you think United were going to sack him? You can't sack a manager that's finished second in the league. You just can't. Especially when you've just bought him a player for 80 million and you're trying to buy him one of the world's best centre-backs. The stability and future planning of United is around Solskjaer. The contract gives him some security, but you could sack him in November if he loses the first 10 games of the season. So, I think that's that. With Sancho, next season will be more attacking, says Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And Kariki, I've signed a new contract. Kariki, says Joshua Bowater. And as an outsider with managers like Zidane and Conte available, I'm happy this has happened. Can't see United under Ole doing more than top 4 with no major trophies, says Ryan Fairbairn. And I suppose that's the fear. That is the fear, isn't it? I don't think... And look, I'm not going to do a season predictor at this point. There's no point. But I don't think that United... Well, I think it's impossible for Manchester United to finish outside of the top 4. I do. I don't, you know, under Mourinho and Van Gaal, we didn't get top 4 and they lost their jobs. But I don't think Solskjaer can fail because he's got the best players that Van Gaal had. He's got the best players that Mourinho had. He's removed the deadwood that he didn't want from them, and then he's added players to that. People say that Ole, and this might be a bit controversial, but people say that Ole has rebuilt that club. I think what Ole's done is he's kept the best players of other people's rebuilds. So the rebuild that Ole's done has always been... Look, you think about when Van Gaal came in. It was a mess from what Moyes had done. So Van Gaal started the rebuild and then got the sack. Mourinho came in and was like, I don't like some of the rebuild that Van Gaal's done, but I'll keep a little bit of it and then I'll do my own bit. He got the sack. Ole comes in and goes, well, there's bits from Van Gaal I like. You know, Van Gaal gave Rashford the debut. I'm definitely going to use him. Who else is from Van Gaal? Well, De Gea's obviously been consistent all the way through. I think Luke Shaw came in under Van Gaal, didn't he? I think Luke Shaw came in under Van Gaal. And then Mourinho comes in. You know, Pogba still here at the club. That's been beneficial. Lindelof as well has been beneficial under Ole. Fred as well. And then Ole comes in. Maguire gets added in. Wan-Bissaka gets added in. But he's kept the players from the other two managers. So I think United at this point, it doesn't matter who the manager is. I can't see United not being in the top 4. My worry under Ole, I suppose if I give you the devil's advocate point, is if it's impossible to finish out the top 4, but he's not good enough to ever win as a title, we could have 3-4 years of just finishing in the top 4 and being what Zane said, a little bit like Wenger, where it's impossible to finish out the top 4, but it's impossible to win the title. And then as a fan base, we just get stuck in this position where a lot of us are like, well, you can't sack him, but some people are like, well, he's never going to win us the bloody title, get rid of him. But so my hope for us all is that we're going to become a team that can win titles, because I don't think this team can finish outside the top 4. I don't think a team with De Gea in goal or Henderson, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire, Varane, Bruno, Cavani, Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, Pogba if he stays. I just don't see that team not finishing in the top 4. And if you don't finish in the top 4, you probably get the sack at United. But if you do finish in the top 4, they get the Champions League money. That's all they're bothered about. So that would be my only fear. But on the other hand, you look at that set of players that I've just named, and if Solskjaer can keep developing as a coach and learning from his mistakes, then maybe we can push on. Maybe he can become maybe Ole could be here for 10 years. Maybe he could be here for 20 years. Maybe we could be really successful. But what I will say above all this, and I wish I'd said it really near the start of the video, we're still owned by the Glazers. Whether you're the Red Army, Manchester United Supporters Trust, fans all over the world, doesn't matter what your division in the fan base is or anything like that. The thing that united us at the end of last season was that the Glazers are bad owners. The thing that stays the same today is that the Glazers are the bad owners. If we had the right owners at this football club, we wouldn't be moaning about new contracts for Solskjaer. We wouldn't be moaning about how long we take to do transfers, because we'd have owners that have the best interests of the football club at heart, not their bank balance. And owners with the best interests of the football club at heart may not be so focused on 4th place every year. They might look at us if we finish 4th and go, with the players that you've got, that's not good enough, Ollie. You've got to go. I'm getting Conte in. We've got the Glazers in charge. We could have a really bad season but still finish 4th, and they'd go, yes, Champions League again. Well done, Ollie. Our problem at United is people like Ed Woodward. It's people like, the Glazers. The people who run this club are businessmen. They're not football men. Mark, if we get Maddison, we will finish 4th, says Zayn Mahasi. You're not going to finish 4th, Zayn. I'm sorry, but thanks for the comment. Ollie's been managing for 10 years. How is he still learning on the job? Says Give It to Mikey. But you know what? I've got to defend Ollie on that. I've got to defend Ollie on that. this bullshit that Ollie's been managing for 10 years, so he should be a good coach. But what about the development of a footballer? Declan Rice, football career, is a West Ham player. Why is he not playing for Man City right now? A manager needs time to develop. Graham Potter's a very good coach. Graham Potter's a better coach than Nuno. Nuno got the Spurs job. Potter's still at Brighton. Oh, does that mean that Potter's a bad manager because he's managing Brighton? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the job the same reason Arteta got the job at Arsenal, and the same reason Lampard got the job at Chelsea. The same reason Gerrard will get the job at Liverpool eventually, because they are ex-players of that club who have an affinity with that club. Ollie never would have got this job at Arsenal. He never would have got this job at Chelsea, because they would have looked at him and gone, he used to play for United, his CV's crap. Ollie got the job because Mourinho got sacked. United were desperate. They needed somebody just to give us a bit of positivity. He was never meant to get the job full time. He did brilliant over 3 months. We all sang and danced Ollie's at the wheel, and Ed Woodward started singing and gave him a new contract as well. And now Ollie's our manager, and he's done well in the role. To say he should be a great manager, everybody's different. I've said this before as well. If Solskjaer succeeds at Manchester United, he's basically the first interim manager to do it. There's not really any interim manager that's gone on and got the full-time job and done well. If Ollie does it, he's breaking the mould. It doesn't tend to work. Hi Mark, how come the podcasts only come out intermittently on Spotify? I love the programme and your analysis, says Nicholas Addy. Thank you very much. Didn't mean it in a nasty or troll way either. Example, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was like Lampard, great ideas but not there yet. Conte or Zidane could be your 2Kel, says Rian. Yeah, well look, Ollie's our manager. He's going to be our manager. But this has happened before. We had Pochettino there wanting the job and we stuck with Ollie. You've probably got Conte and Zidane now who would want the job, but we'll stick with Ollie. I have got nothing to say about that. I just don't think I don't think we can be in a position right here, right now to sack Solskjaer. And I think this season is really the season where you've got to just go for it and see how he gets on. And I believe that is the right thing to do. Tillemans as Pogba replacement. Make sure you check out the transfer show. I did that this morning and I've dropped the link in the video description, so don't worry about that too much. We will talk about that in a moment. No, I won't talk about that in a moment. It's on the transfer show. We're talking about Solskjaer. I just want to get your opinions. Tucker says, just back the bloody manager. It's a new season upon us. You don't have to wait long to see what happens. What? Well, I'll just applaud that. I'll applaud that and say you're absolutely spot on. It's a new season upon us. Let's see what happens. We've got a good set of fixtures. Hopefully we're going to have a good window before then. Tabras says, Ollie protects the Glazers and the Glazers protect Ollie. He would never get another top job. Manchester United should never hire a person who's learning on the job. The only trophy we will win is the Coca-Cola Cup, says Sarah. Wasn't Sir Alex appointed in the middle of the season, says Rishab. I was a very young lad when Sir Alex Ferguson was appointed, but I think you're right. I think he was appointed in November. I think we had a bad start to the season, and Ron Atkinson got the sack. And I think Sir Alex was appointed in the November. If anyone's a little bit older than me, they'll know that. Mark, your maths is still all over the place. Ollie has had 300 million spend, but is like 200 spend inaccurate information. Irish Penguin. Okay, can we just sit down, the Irish Penguin? Okay, so Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had Maguire for 80, Wan-Bissaka for 130, Dan James 50, so 130. 80 plus 50 for Wan-Bissaka is 130, yeah? 15 on Dan James takes that up to 145. Bruno Fernandes was 60, that takes it to 195. Van der Beek was 35, so that takes it to 230. Sancho 80, that takes it to 73, that takes it to 300 million. Diallo 335 million. So that's 7 players I can think of straight away. 335 million. What did you say? He's had a spend of 300 million spend, but net is like 200. So he's had 335 million spent on him at the moment, and I've probably missed a player out. Who else have I missed out? 335. Tellez. So 335, 15 for Tellez, 350. So that's 350 million he's had spent. And if we get Varane, that's 400 million. And we're going to get Varane. So I'm right, you're wrong. sit down. Penguins like sitting down. They like to sit down on eggs. Go and lay an egg and sit down, Irish penguin. So yeah, it's about 400 million when we get Varane, but it's over 350 where it is at the moment. Palestri was another 7, yeah. So it's around 350, 360 at the moment, and it will go up to 400 million when he gets Varane this summer. So he's had a lot of money. But I don't think that's a fair thing to say about Solskjaer. I'm not talking about the spend. I think he's been backed. I think he benefits from the players that were previously at the club. Ollie's big thing for me is football isn't attacking. It's not in the traditions of Manchester United, and I'll have that argument with anybody. And I'm pro Ollie, but the football's not great. He relies on the same players and burns them into the ground when he's got a massive squad. His substitutes in-game and plan B options are not the best. We're not great at breaking teams down because the tempo's too slow. And we concede crappy goals that most teams wouldn't concede. So those 5 things are all improvable. And that's what I want to see him improving. The positives, happy team, squad stability, fan stability. He's popular with the fans, even though some people don't like him. And positions in the league have been fantastic over the last 2 years, 3rd and 2nd. So, there are positives and negatives, but this is why this season is an acid test. This season is the acid test. Exacto, Mark, you said 145 million plus 60 was 195 million, says Exacto JT. Also, actually, I've got my maths wrong there, haven't I? I have got him wrong. Well done. Well, it's north of 350 million. As long as the Irish Penguins sat down laying an egg, that was the whole point. Mark, we can use a CDM instead of McFred. So look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been given a new contract. I mean, there are going to be people who aren't happy with it. It was inevitable. It was right. And this season is what it's all about. My prediction is that I think we're going to have a good season. If we get Varane in, I think we're going to have a good season. But we've got to get Varane. If we don't get Varane in and Pogba leaves, I think we might struggle. Because I don't think Sancho, with Maguire and Lindelof and McFred, and no more Pogba, is going to make a massive amount of difference. We've got to get Varane in. I would hope we can keep Pogba. Sancho's here. Get another midfielder in. I think we can have a good season because there's no excuses. And I'm excited about the new season. And I think even if you're Ollie out, you should be excited about the new season. Because, be honest, let's all be honest, the scales of Ollie are like that. They are like that. And fans aren't stupid. Some of them have made their mind up already. And they might have to change their mind. But right here, right now, I think it's the right decision. But look, what I would take away from this, the final thing I'm going to say about this is, do you think Manchester United, as much as they're going to be like, Ollie's got a new contract, do you think United are confident in their conviction that Ollie's the right man for the job? Really? I think they'll say they are. I think Solskjaer will say it, he is. Do you think they're totally confident? If I was Ollie, right, and Ollie will know this, if you've got to wait for Sancho to sign to immediately announce the manager's new contract, that doesn't scream to me that this is a club that's confident in their manager. This screams to me that a club that is terrified about when they announce it, because they wanted to announce it after the Europa League final and we lost. Why didn't you put it out then? Because you knew there'd be a backlash. Why have you put it out now? Because you know you've got a 2-week window before the season starts, and what if we lose to Leeds? You can't announce it then. So they wait for Sancho to be announced, and then they announce Solskjaer within 24 hours. That, to me, shows you the situation, the scales of Ollie. Now, I want Ollie to do well, and I'm Ollie in at the moment, but there's people who want him to do bad, and there's Ollie outers, and the club are clearly aware of that, because they're attaching Solskjaer, the manager of the club's new contract, to a new signing. If they were so confident about the love and the right decision of giving Solskjaer a new contract, why attach it so close to a positive event? So, you know, the club aren't stupid. They needed to hide this deal close to something positive because they knew if they put it out on its own, it would not do very well. But this season is very exciting and I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, we've got a watch along to come. We're going to be live this afternoon, 3 o'clock kickoff, Manchester United against QPR. Looking forward to that. Get to see a little bit more of Palestri and some of the youngsters, hopefully. McTominay might play as a CDM, bit more of Garner, Greenwood. Jesse will be playing, no doubt. But Palestri hopefully gets a start as well. Looking forward to that. Make sure you tune in for that. Have a great day till then. I'll speak to you all in a little bit. Thanks everyone for all your comments, and make sure you check out the transfer show that sort of got stopped to do this, but we've got the latest on Varane. Big update on Varane. hold up on Varane, why there's a hold up, links in the video description or go through the homepage, and Pogba given a PSG transfer warning. Check that out on the homepage. I'll speak to you all in a bit.